right, we're gonna bite two. Let's go.
We are the New York Knicks. We are the New York Knicks.
Oh yeah, right.
We are the New York Knicks. We are the New York Knicks. Say go New York, go New York, go. Go New
We can be
York, go
copycats
New
too.
York, go. Say go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go.
Well, just like that, look who's back in the mix. Straight out of New York City, it's the Red Hot Knicks, and nothing's gonna stop us from.
Shout out to Sky Zoo, because I guess I'm late to the party. I know we heard Sky Zoo had a little joint the other day.
Word.
I've seen a couple of Nick anthems. I think I had one on here too, man. Another one.
Yeah, you know, everybody's coming out the woodwork now and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the good. That's the old. It's it's old as like some '94 shit, but it's like it's it's what we know now. So it's hard to like change. It's hard to change an anthem almost. You know what I mean? It's like feels unnatural.
Word.
Anyway, I want to welcome everyone back to Drunk Sports Talk, New York's new #1 sports talk show. We are the voice of the streets. Allow me to reintroduce myself. It's your boy Cash. You know, I got that other gentleman on the side of me in the fresh blue snapper fitted. I'm not sure what he got. Is my boy Q.
You already know.
What's popping, my brother?
Yo, I'm chilling, son.
Shout out to Ed Television. Ed Television is on assignment. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to leave it at that. He will be back. Listen, I know a lot of y'all dudes at Television fans. He'll be back. He might even be back tomorrow when we do the Knicks 76ers post game show.
Word.
So shout out to my brother at Television.
Word out. We missing the dude. I know he's gonna be watching the game. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean. He's just taking a little. He needs to handle some business. You know what I mean? We all there. We all adults. You know. We all grown ass men.
Big facts. I don't handle business. I'm irresponsible. I just let shit pile up. So I gotta react.
Yeah.
So I'm one of them back against the wall niggas. When the pressure gotta be mounting up crazy for me to make a move.
You probably file your taxes April 16th.
Nah, that's the only thing I got good is I got a dope accountant, man. She lives with me, so she takes care of my fucking tax shit. But
word up. Shout out to the accountant.
Shout out to the accountant. Not talking about Ben Affleck. I'm talking about you know who I'm talking about. Anyway, yo. So look, man. We were on episode 37. We talked about potential Knick opponents, right? And they had just had beat the Bulls and clinched that 2 seed and got that 50 burger. So we was all excited. We was all hyped. Shout out to Knicks Nation. Shout out to all my Knicks fans. You know what I'm saying? So now, right? We know who they're playing, and they're actually playing tomorrow. And they are playing the 76ers. Now, people are like, some wanted the Heat, some wanted the Sixers. Me, I was like, it didn't matter. I said, gun to my head, maybe the Sixers. But it's the Sixers, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Heat, shit, they might not even get in. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Jimmy Buckets has a knee issue. He'll be out for a couple of weeks. So, Chicago might be able to get in there and push them out.
They're playing right now. Actually, I think they're losing.
Chicago might be able to push them out the 8th spot. Shout out to Mambo.
Yeah.
But
the Heat gonna win, man. The Heat are up by like 30 points already.
Oh, it's up by 30.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's around Chicago. You disappoint me.
Word.
But anyway, we're not here to talk Heat of Chicago. We're here to talk New York Knicks. Now, New York Knicks are facing the 76ers. Now, let me open by saying this. A lot of people, pundits, former athletes, analysts, nationwide, are kind of stunting on this. I don't know if you've been paying attention, Q. Charles Barkley, Shaq, a couple of others. And I'm trying. I try to think about this objectively. I try to say, look, I don't want to be too much of a homer, even though I am a homer. I love the Knicks. I rep the Knicks. Sometimes I'm not objective. I try to be objective, but sometimes it's not easy, right? But when I sit back and I really take the fandom and the emotions out of the way I'm thinking about this, the New York Knicks are good. They've proven it time after time this year. Through adversity, right? Through all these different types of situations we had to deal with all year long, we responded. we need our motherfucking respect. You feel what I'm saying? It ain't just like it's a feel good Cinderella little engine that could story. Oh, look as cute these Knicks are spunky. Nah, nigga, we here to take your motherfucking head off. You know what I'm saying? Stop playing with us. You feel what I'm saying? And part of my French, but it's starting to get on my nerves now. You know what I'm saying? The only one who's kind of riding with us is Kendrick Perkins. Kendrick Perkins been on that train all year, and I'll give Kendrick props because a couple of years ago he was
he was on that.
He was didn't hate it. I don't want to say hating, but he wasn't really fucking with the Knicks like that, especially in the Atlanta series. He was so. Shout out to Kendrick Perkins, and that's being objective. He's not a New Yorker. That's being objective, and I fuck with it. He calls himself the governor of New York. Shout out to you, but you're definitely not the governor of New York. Shout out to my nigga Raw Flush. But I digress. But listen, a lot of dudes is fronting on us. But like I said, we have the Philadelphia 76ers coming up tomorrow. They got to come to the Garden. Philly, New York. That's basically the backyard. You know what I'm saying? Our backyard is Philly. So it's the East Coast thing. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's an up north East Coast affair. What's your thoughts on this? Because in my opinion, I don't think Philly could fuck with us. You know what I'm saying? I just don't like watching Joel Embiid. When Joel Embiid got injured and he first came back, he was balling out a little bit. Then he kind of re-injured his what was it? His
I think it was his ankle. I thought it wasn't ankle surgery. I think it was his Achilles. No,
it's Achilles, right? I gotta look with it. Whatever it is, it's some of the lower extremities, right? He came back. He was looking good. Remember, I was texting you, Joel Embiid balling, dog. I don't know if you want to, you know what I mean? I don't know if we want to see them niggas in the first round. Embiid is the MVP, former MVP, or the reigning MVP, I should say. And Joel Embiid can flat out ball. He's probably, I think he's better than Jokic. Some people say Jokic. Some people say the Joker. I think Embiid skill wise is a little bit better than the Joker. But if we say the Joker, I'm not mad at you. But those two, basically the two best big men, are possibly the two most skilled players in the league, other than maybe Kyrie and there's a couple of others, but those are the two that come to mind when you say that. So I say that to say this: watching him against the Heat the other night, that wasn't Joel Embiid. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
He's skilled and crafty enough where he can still score, right? Because he's just skilled enough. Like I can get on the court right now and I can get a couple of buckets, even though I might not be in the best basketball shape. I just been playing so long, I know how to score. But defensively, laterally, you know what I'm saying? His quick help defense, he looks slow. And some people say he injured himself. Some people say he was just gassed with conditioning. Whatever it is, if that Joel Embiid shows up tomorrow, we eating their lunch, B. You know what I'm saying? Your thoughts on the 76ers, man. Yeah. Can the Knicks beat them? Will the Knicks beat them? And how many games will it go?
I say yes, without a doubt. And and let me just rephrase. Before I said it was Achilles, but it was actually a knee injury. So
knee injury, okay.
Yeah.
I should have known that. My bad.
Yeah, I without a doubt, I think we could actually beat them, especially if we're seeing the Embiid that we just saw.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna beat them. Maybe I think it's gonna be like 4-1. I mean,
a gentleman's sweep.
And the reason I say this is, and I'm not saying that they slacking, but look, we're playing against maybe a 70-75% Embiid. He's not looking too great. The team, they don't shoot better than us, and they're not going to beat us. If Embiid is going to be playing like how he is, we're a transition team. We're going to be running up and down that court. We're going to be playing our heart and souls out every single minute of that game. We're going to be having Hartenstein and Precious Chua and Mitchell Robinson all over Embiid. Now, they're going to have to kick the ball out, and they're going to have to start, dishing out and making some of those three-pointers, with either Oubre or Held and Tyrese Maxey and, what I mean? And Tobias Harris, and hey, look, they're having a great season, but they didn't look too great against the Heat, and let's be completely honest. And they almost lost, and Jimmy Butler didn't even play the last couple of minutes of that game, and the Heat only lost by 1 point. So with that going to say, if the Knicks are going to come and shoot, and we're going to give our heart and soul, and we play tremendous defense, and we're in our home team, I really don't think there's, it's going to be a good series. I think they're going to be close games. I don't think we're going to beat them. When I say we're going to win, 4-1, maybe even be 4-2. It's not going to be like, we're going to beat them 30 points, 25 points every single game, but I think we're going to beat them. I think we're going to outclass them. I don't think Tibbs just got here to win 50 games and Jalen Brunson got here almost as a top 3 MVP candidate. And then all of a sudden we're just going to fall apart against a team that almost didn't even make the playoffs. And Embiid's always hurt, so, he's going to have to give us 120%. He's going to have to give the Sixers 120% in order to potentially beat the Knicks. And that's going to be every single game that he plays. And I don't think they just have enough for us. Our bench is too deep. Our starters are too prepared. I think we're too hungry. This is a New York team that hasn't really won anything in a very long time. And we have the chance to do it because the second round is going to be – the semifinals is going to be easy peasy, in my opinion. Yeah. It's just we get through the first round, we should be going to the Eastern Conference Final, in my opinion.
I don't disagree. Okay, a couple of things concern me. I agree. Like I said, pardon me, I have a little cold, so bear with me. Embiid last game against the Heat had 23, 15, and 5 in 38 minutes. I mean, those are fucking great numbers. You know what I'm saying? Let's be honest. But he didn't look like Embiid. There's a difference. If you know basketball, if you watch basketball, you understand what the fuck I'm talking about. So that's something, if I was a Sixers fan, I'd be a little bit leery about. Nicholas Batum, yeah, am I worried about him? Not really. No disrespect to him. He could ball. Kyle Lowry's a veteran. Buddy Hield's a sharpshooter. They all can shoot pretty well. Tyrese Maxey, straight baller, straight, probably all NBA third team, maybe something like that. He's Tyrese Maxey. I love Tyrese Maxey. I wanted the Knicks to get him. Tobias Harris is having a really good year. Kelly Oubre strapped up. Tyler Hero, lovely last game. You know what I mean? We're gonna talk about that. But they got some players. But like you said, you ran through all the Knicks. All the player personnel with the Knicks. I just don't think they match up. I think we're gonna out hustle them. I think we're gonna out rebound them. I think defensively we're better. I think I like Nick Nurse as a coach, but I also like Tibbs. You know what I'm saying? And we talked about Tibbs and how he's gotten better making adjustments. But so that concerns me a little bit if I'm a Sixer fan. What concerns me if I'm a Knicks fan is I spoke a little bit about this. I alluded to this in a little monologue I did, that, we have this, like I said, Draymond Green, Shaq, Charles Barkley, all saying that we not really as good as we think we are. And that, to me, puts a little bit of pressure on us, man, because in terms of, are we just a little engine that could feel good story, or are we the real deal, right? So that's internal pressure, right? But as you know, Q, the playoffs, everything slows down. We've talked about this time after time, man. There's not as much run and gun. People pay a little bit more attention to defense, defensive assignments, taking the ball out of players' hands. Coaches make more adjustments. Now, when you play a team in a regular season, right, you might play them that night, right? Not saying you don't practice, you don't prep for them. I know coaches are well prepared and they're meticulous in what they do, but they don't have enough time. I'm saying they don't have enough time. They don't have an abundance of time. Now you're seeing people for 5-6, a 5-game series, 7-game series, whatever, 7-game series. You back in the days, first round was 5 games, but 7-game series, you have a lot of time to make adjustments, right? So we're gonna find out. This is also going to come down to a chess match of the coaches. You know what I'm saying? So that's something, we're gonna see, has Tibbs, can he truly make adjustments? This is a big test for Tibbs because this is a 1 seed, a 2 seed versus, in theory, another 2 seed or potentially a 3 seed. This is not your normal 8th seed team like we spoke about,
or even potentially a 1 seed. They could, if it be probably, those would have been. It would have been a fight between the Celtics, the Knicks, and the Sixers. Because if we would have had Randall and the Sixers would have had Embiid all season, then that would have been the race.
Fact though. But shout out to Troy. Yeah, fact though. But yeah, so that concerns me a little bit if I'm the Knicks. Another thing that concerns me a little bit is, Nick Nurse, has a chip, right? He won a chip with Kawhi up in Toronto. And even OG was on the team. Yeah, he won a chip already. But another thing that concerns me is Jalen Brunson, bro. Is he tired? I know he has a little bit of time to rest. I get it. Is he run down from the season? What is Nick Nurse going to do? Because we only have one primary scorer. Let's keep it a buck, right? One primary scorer. We talked about this last episode. Who's going to be the next Nick to step up and take on the role of, the number 2 primary scorer? Now, I want to play a clip real quick from Mike Francesa. If you know about Mike Francesa, New York sports talk radio legend. Him and Mike and the Mad Dog were staples for years in New York, right?
Legendary.
But he has his own show now, the Mike Francesa podcast. I don't always agree with him, but he's knowledgeable, and he says something that I actually do agree with. I want to play this clip and tell me what you think. Ready?
The Knicks don't have a legitimate second scorer. It has got to be DiVincenzo, but Dante is a energy player and a volume shooter. It's difficult to have a volume shooter as your number 2 scorer. And watch if the Knicks, are they going to do it with balance? Are they going to do it where it is clearly Dante who becomes their second scorer? In the playoffs, you usually have a team built where this guy's number 1, this guy's number 2. Draw a line under there and say, how are they going to perform after that? The Knicks don't have that number 2 right now. They don't have that guy that you can underline. Now, it's got to be Dante. But the question is, how much scoring can he do in terms of volume shooting and in terms of being there game after game after game? Is his 3-point shooting going to be there game after game after game? The Knicks don't.
Do we not say this last episode?
Yep.
This Mike Francesa shit just dropped, I believe, yesterday. We said this. There's even a clip. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe and go back to our last clip. It was saying the same. So it's not only me or it's not only us. Can Devo be the second scorer? He's a logical choice, in my opinion. I think he can, but can he do it consistently, efficiently, right? And is he going to be able to show up every day? I think he can. This might be Devo's coming out party. What do you think about what Francesa said?
I think so too, and it just plays more part into what we said, and I think he has the capability to do it. Look, this team was built around the next man up and whatever they got to do. So let's even say that we need Dante to do it because he's our main shooter. He's our Ray Allen. He's our Tyler Hero. He's our Reggie Miller. The high threat shooter. And he doesn't because he doesn't. He doesn't really score. On hand, and creates his moves and creates his own basket. He doesn't do that. But I feel like this Knicks team, if he's having, if he's shooting, 4 for 15, 15 points. That's enough because we might have OG have another 15. Josh Hart can have another 15 or 18. And that's what I say. It's like our starting lineup is and our bench is going to be able to produce. Miles McBride, Hartenstein is even scoring, double digits sometimes in the games. So and I think that's what's going to be. And those are the transitions that I think is also going to happen within the players because it's a team effort. And I always come back to this. And Tibbs said it as soon as Randall went down. He said, look, we're not going to have one player to do 28, 10, and 5. We're not going to have just one player to do that. We're gonna need multiple players. We're gonna need DiVincenzo to step up, and he needs to step up even more now, because now you're gonna have the playoffs and you're gonna have to score some buckets. You're gonna have to play some defense. We need everybody to start stepping up, and people got to start scoring. People got to start taking smarter shots. People got to start using their fundamentals when they start cutting to the basket. We got to start doing less turnovers. Like, all this got to be going in through their head. And the only reason I do still feel comfortable is because 3 of these guys all played together in college and won a championship, and 2 of them did it together to win twice. So, like, that pressure on this team, yes, we say it's a lot, but you got to understand what type of pressure this team was under. This team was always under the pressure of a hurt team, always under the impression that they were going to lose to better teams, and we still ended up in second place. And how many times have we come back by large, crazy, insane deficits and still come back to either win or keep it a close game? Like, if that's not pressure for you, I don't know what is. And that's just in the season. So when these guys were on their press conference all wearing black hoodies like they're ready to play, I think this team is ready to play.
I agree. I agree 100%. They look, Jalen Brunson at the podium, they look locked in. But listen, we always talk about that second definitive scorer. And I understand the depth we have, probably maybe one of the deepest teams in the league, top 3 deepest teams in the league, in my opinion. And we lost a big time bench guy and quickly. But we McBride emerged. And say what you want about Alec Burke, what I'm saying? I know he's been struggling and he might not see too many minutes, but you got guys like him and even Shake Milton who came over, can give you minutes if you have to. That will see them too much in the playoffs. But we are deep. But I will say is this, when the shit slows down and you need that other guy to get that ball, get in that triple threat position and go get you a bucket, you're gonna need that guy, man. So let's look. These are DiVincenzo. Right, you kind of alluded to his stats. In 81 games, 44% from the field. Not terrible, but not great. 50s normally considered efficient. Anything 50 and above. Very efficient from 3, 40.1. Free throws, 75%. Assists, blocks, blah, 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 blah.